Okay, hello guys. Today Ruben from The5ers, as usual on Monday. Hope you guys are well, that you had a nice weekend, that you rest a bit from last week. As usual, first of all, guys, let me know if the sound is good on the chat, and say hi on the chat as well. Say where you're from, and yeah, we're gonna talk about the market today. It's labor market day, so the American indices are closed. Only the futures is working. It's trading as usual, but there is very low volume, low liquidity. So again, it's let's say it's a small day for the stock market. But in any way, we're gonna talk about Forex, where actually we got a gap down in the euro dollar and in the pound dollar. So we're gonna try to analyze it and understand what we can do for next week. Sound okay? Hi David, hi Jan, hi Bob, as usual. Thank you guys for being with me again. I very appreciate sharing those sessions with you. And yeah, as usual, I want to remind, but the objective of this session is to share everyone analysis, share the thoughts about the market, maybe some opportunities that you guys would like to discuss. It's a very open and interactive session. I don't want to be talking alone, doing something monotone. So yeah, that's the mindset. Euro dollar 1.04, 0.96. I will continue with my perception. For me, euro dollar is way too far extended, and if we can go to 1.04, I hope we can go to that. That's my vision. But yeah, as usual, on Monday I try to discuss about the dollar index. Again, the dollar index make a new high, I think this morning again. So the dollar continue to appreciate in terms of value. The dollar continue to be stronger against other currencies. The yen is again making the dollar yen made a new high. So the yen is very weak as usual recently. And again, I'm going to talk about we had a gap actually on the dollar index. So we got also a gap in the euro dollar, in the pound. But yeah, let's try to discuss. I think the market going to okay, so here is the dollar index. You see here, from here, it's the opening of today. The dollar opened with a gap up. Okay, so that means the dollar appreciate during the weekend, probably because of the news. I'm not sure what type of news there was, because sometimes it's only liquidity or volatility. Actually, I do think there was something that create this gap. It's not a huge gap. But again, having a gap in the dollar index and in the euro dollar is not common. Generally, it's open approximately at the same price. And today we didn't open at the same price. But like I think, as usual, you see, this is the type of chart I like to have. It's giving to me where we stand in terms of volatility and where we are far from the mean or not. And if we take, actually it's H4, but if we go to 8-hour chart, maybe we can understand it a bit better. You see, it's an uptrend, okay, from almost 1 year right now. Dollar is still rising, and you see, I take the bottom line, here is the extreme point, and actually we are at the middle of the range. Okay, so if we can expect a new high, the new high might be at 111, around that area. And if we go back down, we can go back down to here. As long as we not break this trend, the dollar will continue to rise. What I expect at some point, let's say if you go to the weekly chart or the monthly chart, here there is a lot of offline, but let me get rid of that. You see, it's quite here a long, in my opinion, a long overextended movement. So in the weekly chart, okay, let's say the extreme point will be here, the second will be here. We break actually the area, the zone. I might expect a retracement. I don't know when, but this is the work and the job of the trader to analyze and find when the market will retrace. Okay, and here when it will retrace, it will retrace very strong. Again, you will see in the news in Bloomberg, in Reuters, all the economical news. Yeah, the dollar is very strong. It will continue to rise. Okay, I agree. The dollar is strong. It will continue to rise. It can be in 2 years at the top. But meanwhile, I don't see the market continuing this pace, going into that pace here at some point. Okay, the market will retrace and then can continue. That's how I see volatility, and that's how I see at some point reversion to the mean. So again, this is my perspective. I know that there are other traders that might not agree with me, but again, like I explained, the mindset of this session is to share our thoughts. No one have, no one is God here. We just want to share analysis and thought and expectation. But here is more speculation. Okay, I don't think the dollar is again have a huge push to the high, which is 118. Even all the economic analysts believes that. As a trader, I think that the timing will come soon, to a retracement probably to 105, maybe 103, and here the market can continue. Okay, so this is my opinion. So to answer your question again, Bob, euro dollar 1.04 and not 0.96. If we go to MT5 actually, and we analyze the euro dollar chart, like I explained before, we had a gap here. Okay, already the market opened with a gap. We pushed down, and here the market starting to retrace. Again, we are in a very battle zone. Okay, this zone here is the 0.99, let's say 99,500 area, which is was a strong support last week. For the last 2 weeks probably. Yeah, last 2 weeks is from the 22nd of August. So this zone is a support zone. We break it very strongly with a gap earlier today. I think we're gonna have, and we already have some people that starting to short here the market, and we're gonna have another bulk of short the market at the gap. Okay, so the gap is here. So here are gonna be some selling limits to sell actually the euro dollar. That's my opinion. Hi Stephen, salut. Yeah, I speak French, guys. So if someone is French on the chat, raise your hand. I know that you cannot raise your hand actually, but the context is the same. The context is the same. We have this huge downtrend that started, so it's when it's quite exactly the same as the dollar index. And here we are actually at the mean. You see, guys, that the price is, let's say, 50% down from this extreme zone and 50% up from this zone. It's exactly at the mean. On the daily chart, I won't take any trade. Like I don't want to position myself. I was long last week and during 2 weeks. From here, I create my position. I took some profit, closed some to stop loss, closed some position to break even. So I expect the market to at least bounce to here. The market did not push enough, and then the market already opened with a gap earlier. So I believe my plan is now avoid, let's say. But yeah, what I can say is that again, the market is especially at the mean. Especially at the mean. You see, this is especially the middle. So in the daily chart, very difficult to take any position. Here was a nice position to take. You see, guys, it was at the top of the Bollinger Bands, which indicates the volatility. It was also the low at that point. Here it's also the... See, we can identify very easily the market structure on the euro dollar. Here also we had the same, you see, support, breakout. Again, we test the make a retest. We had the same here. So those are all the zone in the euro, and actually we stand at this zone. Yeah. Then next, let's say this week there is an interest rate in Europe. We expect a hike in interest rate, so I believe that you guys in the chat will say, okay, Europe will increase interest rate. So I believe that the euro dollar will pump here, because you know, when we hike interest rate, that will probably increase the value of the euro, and then the market will move up. That's something I already explained, that the market knows everything before you. Okay, so if you know that the market will hike interest rate, probably the market already priced it. So when you will know, I don't know, that the market, okay, there is a news today in Europe, we will hike interest rate, you can see the euro dollar going down, okay, because the market already priced it, and because they did expect a hike in interest rate higher, whatever. But it's not because we will hike interest rate that the euro dollar will push. Of course, this can help the euro, but there is no one-to-one correlation, and that's something I already explained in my last trading room, that don't expect the news, try to react. And I think here the main plan for me will be to react at one of the zone of the extreme. You know, my extreme zone will be here, would be 0.95, 96 probably. You see, Bob, here 0.96 might be a buying point if we reach that area. Or we can again reach this point here, which is 1.0124. Yeah, we have also here a point, for example, 1.02, around that area. So we'll see how the candlestick will close in order to make any decision. But here actually the market is very on the middle, compressing, downtrend, very easily to see. In the pound dollar, it's quite a little bit difficult to get that. You see, there is very difficult. Yeah, here there is. It's still a downtrend because we make all the time a lower low and lower high. So that's the definition of a downtrend. But you see, it's much more difficult to identify the key zone. I believe that the key zone in the weekly chart, this is actually the lowest point in the weekly chart. In the monthly chart, we are here in a demand zone. When I will not sell here, I believe that you guys that stand with me a lot of time in trading room know that especially that point, that area, will not make any sell. Either on the daily or the chart, weekly chart, probably H4 chart. I don't want to risk myself that here the risk reward is very tight for someone that want to sell in this area. Okay, this is a demand. We are very far from the mean. The mean will be here. Maybe a little bit less, probably here. We are in an oversold, stochastic start to cross. Even the market can push a little bit more than that. Buying here is not the right decision in my trading plan. Okay, why not having a buy here? Of course, it's the monthly chart, so it will be a long positional trade. But here I see nothing. You know, on the weekly chart is also overextended. We had a very weak week last week. Let's say 3 weeks in a row we are wet candle, very bearish, and here again we stand at the lowest point of 2020. had Adrian. I took a short on the pound dollar at 639. 639. Oh, it's 639. 1.15639 maybe. I mean, no, maybe 1.5639. So you are looking at the lower time frame, I think. I don't know, but anyway, that's the same scenario. It's very difficult to make a sell. Even you see that from that point to here, the market get down 120 pips. Again, the risk reward will not be in my favor. We are already at the extreme point here. Here, again, we open with the gap also in the pound dollar. The gap open here, and the market starting to react at the gap actually. So this is already a nice reaction. Also coordinate with the low of the last week. So here also is a key zone. Here it's the key zone in the pound. You see, we had also last week this compression, lot of volatility. Here was the news. I think it was probably NFP. I'm not sure this was. Yeah, this was NFP on Friday. Then we moved down, we moved up, and then we touched the extreme point. Boom, we broke out. Okay. So this morning, you mean? Okay. So you open, I believe, the sale here, and the market went down, and then it pushed again. You see, when you open, I don't know what time is it for you, but if you open in a 1 minute time frame, in the morning, actually it's 4 p.m. in my time zone. When you have a trade at 1 minute, try to close it in the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You know, don't hold it for having a huge strike. This generally it's very difficult, you know, to be a sniper in 1 minute and hold this trade for 2 weeks. You know, I know that you didn't want to hold it for 2 weeks, but again, 1 minute chart. You see, I don't see if it's relevant for here. For most likely 1 minute, I'm trading the 1 minute time frame on the on Wednesday trading room, which is a live trading room, and when, you know, I try to find some scalping to do. I'm also a swing trader when I like to hold the position during few weeks, few days, also few hours. But you know, in order to make it very interactive on Wednesday, we have only 1 hour of trading room. So I want to go to lower time frame for M5, for example, M1, and try to show, you know, some scalping. And recently I do this on the Nasdaq and on the S&P, and it works quite well. But yeah, 1 minute time frame, I will be happy to show some trades using, you know, kind of volatility pattern and retracement at some point. But for, yeah, I like to do that on Wednesday. And today, again, Labor Day, you know, I'm just looking what's going on. I don't want to push myself to open a trade on that day. I was in the long position a long time for euro dollar, so I need to keep fresh, and we will see what we can expect on Wednesday. Talking about the Nasdaq and scalping, you know, if we see the Nasdaq today, Labor Day, not a lot of volatility. You see, the market will probably stand here. You see ups and down. This is very common when we have holidays. But also pre-market. Most of the time on the pre-market we stay doing that range. Okay, and the market can likely retrace again at that place. I'm not sure that the market will push actually today. Yeah, I think here on the indices, and especially on the Nasdaq, we can be at an interesting point. Very interesting point, as the market here, you see, it was a key zone also. It was here resistance, and then became a support. We test actually this zone. Actually, we are in an oversold. So actually, this is only the retracement of the push. We had a huge rally on this during the summer, and here might be the 50 Fibonacci level. So it can be also the beginning of being on a neutral momentum, and then the market go back, maybe not making a new high, but probably will range a little bit and then decide when the market will continue. That's something I expect. Here it was very clear that we were in a bearish trend, but when we are in this huge rally, okay, this is like a 15% rally during the summer, say okay, we might not be in a bearish momentum anymore. It can be like not bullish, but it might be neutral. You see, guys, I don't see during the end of the year making a new high in the Nasdaq. I don't see the Nasdaq coming back to the top. But staying in this area, might be good for the indices. To wait that the inflation get down, to get rid of all the recession fears that actually the market have, in order to continue moving up. In the history, every time the market dropped down, the market retraced. Okay, so we had here the COVID, huge opportunity for buyers, the market pushed, and I believe that here it might be the same. Okay, the market went down, again, opportunity for buyers to push the price up. Investments going on stocks, a lot of technology stocks as well, depreciate a lot during the inflation and actually during that time. So in my opinion, that in a part of trading, I'm also investing, and here it was for me an opportunity. I'm very young, I'm 26, guys, so I'm looking for the future, and I think it might be an opportunity. Any guys on the chat would have to ask something, maybe, I don't know, a question or discuss whatever, a pairs that you want to talk about, dollar yen, maybe the dollar CAD that actually the market pushed quite well this morning, but I think oil actually is pushing up. I don't know if you read a little bit articles, but I think it was today, OPEC, which is the the all the country and let's say it's an organization that talk about the price of oil and supply and demand and what we should do. Should we reduce the supply? Should we increase supply? And that they are talking all the time about the oil. OPEC is the Organization Petroleum Exchange Commission, I think. I think it's that. So the oil actually pushed today 3% because they want to cut the supply. Actually, also Russia have closed the pipeline on gas. So oil is a little bit pushing up. Here might be also an opportunity on the dollar CAD, guys. You see on the daily chart, we touched the top, almost the top here of on July. This might be an opportunity also. Here we make a top, and here we starting to make a lower low. Might be interesting. Might be interesting to follow the dollar CAD. I'm telling that because there is a negative correlation between oil and dollar CAD. I will keep repeating for people that are new to the trading room, but when dollar CAD is pushing down, we're gonna have oil pushing up. It's a negative correlation. Canada is very dependent of price of oil. So of course it's not one-to-one. It's not because the dollar CAD have 1% down today, so we will see oil pushing 1%. Correlation doesn't work all the time one-to-one, but in order to understand the overall context, sorry. Let me show you the chart of oil, and I think this might be the opportunity. I think for that week, I think dollar CAD may be a good opportunity. So this is the dollar. This is oil actually. H4 chart. Maybe let's go to the 8-hour to see all the market structure. So the market topped 122. Then we had a huge bearish momentum. Actually, here the market starting to consolidate. You see, we had this consolidation. The market stabilized. We didn't make a lower low. If we go to the daily chart as well, you will see that here, which is the 83, 85 levels, is also a key zone. Actually, we didn't go to that area. We just stopped at 86. It can be also, this area can be like that, you know, guys. This is not, but if you want to be very, very precise, the market didn't touch it yet. And I think the market pushed already today. $3 from 87 to 90. It's already 3%, 3.50% up in oil. So that's why we're starting to see the dollar CAD getting down. And if the market continue to push up, because we have bad news on supply in oil, we will see the dollar CAD continue to get down. So here might be an opportunity, a long-term opportunity in dollar CAD. Again, if I keep continuing my perspective on, you know, getting back to the mean, the market can definitely go back to that zone, which is also, you see the resistance during few weeks. We breaked out, we moved around. This is, you know, this will also coordinate with the moving average of the Bollinger Band. So might be here a nice interesting point to start building a selling position. Yeah, so dollar CAD, interesting. Dollar yen, again, make a new high, I think, maybe today. Yeah, maybe not today. This was Friday. So Friday we make a new high. Today we try to push. We didn't make the new high again, but 140, guys, for the dollar yen. It's quite impressive. It's like already a 50% move from 2020. 100 to 140, yeah, 36%. We are not so far from 150. That would be a 50% movement in the dollar yen in less than 2 years. That's quite huge, and especially on the yen. You know, Japan is not a tier country. Japan is a rich country, you know, developed country, have a lot of technology, you know, tech companies. Talk about gold. Yeah, on gold, yeah, I just moved on gold because I identify what happened also Friday. Okay, the market had an interesting movement up, 7% in during August. No, during mid-July until mid-August, and then starting to depreciate. And again, on the weekly chart, the market very, you know, this is a very strong support. We had already a bounce here. The market last week, not last week, but on H4 here, we starting to make to attract some buyers. Yeah, we can have again. This is maybe only the retracement. Then we can move until that area again, and here might be very, very interesting to identify what's happening. I'm still bullish on gold because there is inflation, and because I believe in gold in the long term. But you know, we still can break it. The more time we touch the support line, the more time we have chance to break it. Actually, it's been a lot of time, a lot of retest during that area. So you know. Interesting. But again, if you want to know my opinion, guys, making a buy here is not the best solution, because we are not at the extreme point. I like to sell the extreme point or to buy, and making a sell to push it to this one will not be bad. But again, this will not for me be a A plus signal. Okay, the A plus signal will be to react, especially at that price. That would be 1,680, around that area. Hi Ruben, hi Scarlett. Would you mind explaining the dollar index, please, in relation to euro and pound? Yeah, of course, but this is very simple. The dollar index is putting the dollar, okay, against a basket of all currencies. So when you will see the dollar index pushing up, for example, that means the dollar is gaining value. It's gaining value against all other currencies, which is the euro, which is the yen, which is the pound. Okay, so it's the dollar versus all the other pairs. And then you have, of course, the euro dollar, which is only the dollar versus the euro. But I think Google will maybe explain it better than me. I hope you at least understand a little bit what is it. Dollar index explanation, maybe explained. Is measure of the value of the US dollar against 6 other foreign currencies. Okay, so I think the main currencies will be the yen, the euro, the pound. So yeah, it's the dollar, again a basket of currency. I think that's so it's here: euro, yen, British pound, CAD, Swedish, and Swedish franc. Okay. And the basket is euro, which is 57%. The yen is 13%, pound is 11%, CAD 9%, Swedish. Okay, so there is a big correlation between the euro dollar and the dollar index because the basket of the currency is already 57%. I didn't know that, but interesting. 57% of the basket of the dollar index is euro. Okay. Here you have the calculation here. Bank rate. Interesting. And of course, when you see the dollar index, it also gives you some indication to trade the Aussie dollar, the New Zealand dollar, which is not included in the basket of the dollar index. Yeah, as expected. Say 4:30, market are closed. We get a reaction here. We will not see any push, I think, today. Because it's labor market holiday actually in US. So Forex market will move a little bit more, but in any way, the indices will be very quiet. Yeah, even the euro dollar is quiet. What can I say about CHF? Let's try to make an interaction here. I will not tell my opinion, but if you see this chart with my indicators, which is Bollinger Bands and stochastics, and a little bit of mean understanding, what you would do here, or maybe what you will not do in the daily chart. I think this is very easy to see that. Yeah, just move quickly to the weekly chart to understand. Okay, David is telling a buy. Who else? Enrique, what do you see in dollar CHF? Would you be buying or selling here? I know that it's maybe not the best spot to buy or to sell, but if you would do something. Scarlett saying not buy. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, you said not to do, so don't buy. Okay. Yeah, definitely. In my opinion, and again, in about how I see the market, I will not buy at any point here. Okay, I'm not sure if it's overextended yet, because if you go to the weekly, you see there are some space to the top of the Bollinger Band in this area. Okay, so on the weekly chart, it's not yet overextended. But you see, for example, guys, if I can give you an example, you see this huge push on the dollar CHF result on a retracement and slow down, you see. So here we can identify an overextended movement. We don't know when, but then the market go back to the mean, which is the moving average of the Bollinger Band. So that's all the time I analyze the market. On the daily chart here, this is quite the same. We still are not in the extreme zone. So of course I will not sell. You have a lot of technical points to understand that might be here not the best spot to sell. We had already some pin bar in H4. On the daily chart, you see the market didn't succeed to push above that place. And instead of risk reward, the risk reward to make a sell at that area will be the best spot. Again, we have also stochastics that starting to cross above 80, so we might be on a hover buy momentum. Yeah, and you see that, okay, the market here, okay, if we identify on the H1 consolidation here, then the market pushed, and then we're starting here another market structure. Okay, you see the market here didn't make a higher low, didn't make an higher high. You see we had here this pin bar, the second one here as well. So again, the market creating, especially at this spot, a new market structure, and we will have to understand what's going on. But definitely having a sell on daily chart here is, for me, can be good to starting to build a position. The risk reward here would be very interesting, as the stop loss would be above the high. It would be probably a 100 pip stop loss, but you can take at least a 200 to the average. So it's at least 1 to 2 risk reward. And if you want to, as a sniper, and you want to even better the price, let's say you wait on the M30 to the price to be a little bit up, like, no, this is not that, but you wait the price to come back to, let's say, here, so you can increase the risk reward to 1 to 3, even 1 to 4, it depends. But yes, I will not buy at that spot. That's good, guys. Most of you guys on the chat have the same mindset, so that's good. But again, I know that there are some traders, and also in the 5ers, I see some traders in this type of situation would also, they say, the trend is my friend. So what they will do, they will buy, because we are in a very bullish trend. So I think I will continue to buy, and I can definitely, agree with them and say, okay, the trend is very bullish, so I cannot sell because the market is very, very strong. So I will buy, and they will make a buy. Maybe they will buy here and let the market trends, but it depends. Each trader have his own interpretation and have his own. I will not be comfortable by holding a buy position at that area. Again, that's personal. That's very personal, and I can definitely, accept someone that will buy here. He will probably manage the trade differently. And it's the same in the dollar yen. In the dollar yen, someone will tell you in the weekly chart, yeah, I will buy here because the market is on a great bullish momentum. And actually the one that buys here could have actually runs a huge profit trades. And the one that sells all the time, if he's a good trader, all the time will have to close his selling trades in a very tight stop loss or at break even or even in a loss. But again, personally, I will not be comfortable buying here the dollar yen when the market already extend 35% in 2 years in Forex, which is quite awesome. It's like buying the Bitcoin, you know, guys. I think most of you guys know the price of the Bitcoin and how the market moves. Bitcoin moved from 20K to 72K. Okay, it's like actually buying the Bitcoin at 62K. Okay, you don't know when the price will retrace, but at some point it will retrace. You don't know when. That's it. So again, I'd prefer not to buy in that explanation. I hope that makes sense. And again, this is my vision. I'm in a long position in euro dollar. The dollar index keep pushing euro lower. I'm finding it a little frustrating. Front line. It depends from when you are long in euro dollar. If it's a positional trade, like in 1 year or 2 years, you know, be patient. If it's a daily trade, again, put the stop loss, exit the market when the euro dollar touch the stop loss, and maybe, you know, take a fresh air, come back and try to reopen the buy. This is definitely okay. It's what I say. The euro dollar is pushing down very strong, but you don't know when the market will retrace and can retrace 500 pips, 600 pips, and then continuing going down. But if we go to the weekly chart, you see the market went down straight 18%, which is already, I don't know, how much pips is 20,000 pips? Probably. For our time frame, 5 minutes lower, 15 minutes lower. Actually, today, you know, there is a vacation in US, so actually the market's opened with a gap, but I'm not sure we'll see a strong movement. Actually, someone in the chat reminded us that there is the interest rate in Europe that week, say the news. So there might be some movement. Just hold your position, put the stop loss at a good place for your trades and for your plan, and let it run. But you see, it's like here on the M1, the market have pushed here, make a little retracement across the top, and then the market pushed. I will not make a buy here. The market is overextended in 1 minute, so I will wait the market to went back at least to the mean, which is here, or at least to the demand, and then exceed the profit. That's something that I keep using in scalping as well. I'm keeping doing this, you know, these techniques in Wednesday session when I try to scalp the indices. When, you know, at the opening sometimes you have huge volatility movement. The market is overextended in a very small time frame. You know, it happens on M1. So I expect at some point the market to get back to the mean. And this type of scenario is good as a scalper. The risk reward is generally a risk reward for a scalper should be at least 1-to-1. But sometime in my case, you know, it can be more than that, because the stop loss here might be very tight, which will be, let's say, here, and the stop loss here, take profit maybe taking half here. You know, this is only talking in here, but in Wednesday most likely I'm doing live scalping. Actually today I don't want to push myself. The market are closed, so there is, you know, low movement, low liquidity, less efficient market, let's say. You're welcome, Scarlett. Hope it helps. Okay, guys. I think we reached the end of the session. So again, thank you very much for being with me until the end of the session. Quite interesting. Talk about some techniques. I'm keep trying to teach a little bit my vision about volatility and how we can not exploit, but how we can taking an advantage from, again, huge overextended movement. And actually during that period of time when you have inflation and recession and then the euro and the dollar and all that stuff, huge opportunities can come to you, and I hope it can give you a little, maybe another vision. I know that some other traders don't have my vision. Everyone has his own strategy. Everyone has his own mindset. Also, you will see Saul tomorrow that will be will make a trading room. He's trading very differently than me. So everyone has his own mindset. So I like to share it all the time. Guys, thank you very much. I wish you a nice week. If you have any question, contact us on the help desk. And again, see you on Wednesday for another live trading room with me, guys. Have a nice week and see you.